subscribe with WorldWideChels.
I WorldWideChels.
WorldWideChels.
Subscribe to WorldWideChels.
Thank you for your support.
Good performance, man. Don't ever leave Chelsea. Never give up. Loftus-Cheek, always.
Yeah.
Oh, gets me every time.
Yes,
he took those words. He took those words and ran with them.
Yes, people, welcome to another Chelsea live stream. Bit late today, come back from work, but every single day there's a Chelsea stream, of course. Got a beautiful panel here with me today. Going to be discussing the latest Chelsea news, latest Chelsea debate. I'll be in and out of the stream. Matt and Father will be controlling the stream today with lovely help of Andrew and Josh. But yeah, everyone tuned in. If you guys can, please smash the like button. Big up all the people in the comments. Big up all the super chats already. Subscribe if you're new here. Hit the notification. We already got Saranaf as well. Big up myself and the panel. Big up the mods and family. Midas Tuchel touch has turned Rudiger into world beater. We will see more stars on the rise. Yes, of course. Like and send in more super chats, people. As always, big up everyone again. First of all, co-host Matt, how are you?
Yeah, I mean, I'm very good. I watched that match again last night just to watch my boy doing his absolute best and hopefully getting in this team.
Yes, I'll move on to Josh simply because Loftus-Cheek. How are you, bro?
Doing well, man. Doing well. Just finishing up the day over here. But I did not watch the match again only because it's ingrained up here. What a beautiful performance that was. So, yeah, enjoying, ready for the debate.
100%. Father, welcome. How are you? How was your journey? You messaged me at 5 a.m. You got home at 5 a.m., bro.
Yeah, it's a 5-hour train ride, man. Sleeper night Riviera, isn't it? It's always
3 hours.
No, it's a 5-hour train.
Wow, 5 hours, man.
What?
That's crazy.
Man.
For a cup game as well. That's mad, bro. I wouldn't even do that myself.
Werner scores yesterday. I'm still
True.
living alive. Yeah.
True.
Bam! That header was good.
Yeah. Andrew, how are you, bro?
Well, I hate Loftus-Cheek. No, I don't. I know people might say no. Hey, man, it's good. I don't know why anyone would put themselves through the game yesterday again. I really don't, unless it's some kind of, unless they needed, they need some sleep or something like that. I understand that. But, yeah, I'm ready. Let's get it on.
Yes. Big up everyone that's tuned in. As always, like the video, subscribe, hit the notification. Download the OneFootball link app. I want to play the sponsor very quickly. And, yeah, let's go. Yes, guys. Today's video is sponsored by the OneFootball app, the #1 app for all Chelsea news and in general for all other clubs, of course. But you can find out every single information around the club right here on this app. All your transfers, incomings, outgoings, all your general injury news, team lineups, predictions, everything you will find on this app. Make sure you guys definitely download that. You can also, rather than going on Google and put a lot of effort in, you can see where we are in the league, you can see where other clubs are, how many goals conceded, how many goals scored, etc. You can also check out the squad information on each player, to keep you guys up to date. And finally, you can also check out all other competitions, not just Chelsea. You can, look at rival clubs. You can look at different competitions, the internationals, for example. And definitely, I would recommend this app. If you guys want to check it out, click on the link in the description. Go check it out. It helps me a lot. And you'll be seeing this app a lot more on my channel. Big up everyone that's supporting the channel. And thank you, OneFootball, for the opportunity. Yes, people, as I said just earlier, download the OneFootball link in the description. They are supporting today's video, of course. Listen, we're going to straight get into the news. Rudiger's contract situation. We have more news, kind of what we knew, but just more confirmation that he wants a certain amount, more than 200,000. Antonio Rudiger, Matt, I mean, you weren't really up to date. I'm going to expose you here, but what's your take on that?
Yeah, I mean, I heard people saying that he wants the same amount as Lukaku. Unfortunately, I love Rudiger, but that's a bit too much. But I will make the point of I don't want no De Ligt. I don't want no BTEC Juventus players coming in this team. I don't want no BTECs.
He's 22.
I don't want Van Dijk's side chick.
Bro, he's 22.
Nah.
They're never going to pay that release clause anyway.
Juventus are 18th place.
That's
And they ain't
even
got a good
better. That's
defense.
even better. He's gonna be cheaper.
No.
Yes.
Juventus are not in massive money troubles. They don't need the money.
Yeah, his release clause is like 130 million, and Chelsea will never pay that.
Don't go in. And anyway, we don't want to deal with Raiola. Screw it.
We all know this delete information is just a backdoor way to get Haaland next summer.
Yeah.
Okay, guys, that's what it is. That's what it is.
Oh, well, what do you think, man? I think you're a fan of him.
I'm not really fancy of the league, man.
What?
That's me.
You told me
That means-
backstage.
No, you should be fair, because
You said he
he's
was
a
better than
Raiola-
Thiago Silva. That's
He's
what you
a
said.
Raiola guy. That's my issue about that. We're dealing business with Raiola, man. Look at where we are with Haaland in the past. Whoops, a failure. So we don't want another repeat with Raiola guy ever again in our lifetime. So, yeah, man, I feel like in terms of Rudiger contract situation, I have nothing a lot to say about that contract apart from just give him the money. Like, how hard is it to give Rudiger that sort of money? I mean, Lukaku is on 300k a week. If you give Kanté about 290k a week and Werner 270k a week, why not Rudiger then?
Yeah, I mean, it's cheaper for him to sign a bigger contract as well than sign a player for crazy money with wages, I'm sure, as well. It doesn't make sense. So, how much do you think we should offer him max for Rudiger?
I would
How much
say
is he worth?
290. I feel like 300k maybe. That's probably
300k.
the exact 300k.
Say one
Great.
lie, 300k.
After
I
tax.
said 300k.
After tax.
I think he deserves it.
After tax.
300k.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay, I'm not going 300k.
I'm glad you're not my accountant, father.
Yeah, I'm not going 300k.
Bro. You can pay me that, fam. Man said 300k, bro. 300k.
I might take
Rudiger.
Father as my agent though.
Bro, you are Raiola.
I'm not Raiola. I'm just
You're Raiola, bro.
I'm
You
just a
said
post grad
300K.
student here, bruv. I'm not Mina Raiola. I'm just a post grad student, bruv. I just say what I'm seeing based on stats, man.
Wow. 300K.
I'd say maximum 220, and that's
Same.
pushing it.
I'd say about 220.
Yeah,
230.
200k or something.
If you want to do 200 plus some certain bonuses on for like goals, appearances, clean sheets, whatever, add that in. Yeah, go ahead, because that makes them play better. But not 300k basic salary. No.
Wow, 300k.
I base mine all off of Christensen's new deal. He's going to be on 140k a week. It's about a 60k raise for him. I don't think Rudiger is that much better than Christensen. I do love Rudiger, and I think he's got probably one of the top 2-3 defenders in the Premier League. But he's 28 and a 200k max for me. Max. I don't know. I think like Myron made a good point this morning on another stream where he was saying basically like the things that Rudiger does well aren't things that age well with defenders. So the kind of things that make him a great defender aren't things that age well. He's not necessarily like the most tactical sort of center back. He's very aggressive, very speed oriented, and those aren't great things that age well as he gets older. So unless it's a short-term contract, like maybe 2 years at that higher wage, but for me, I don't know, 200 is much like go, especially if Christensen's going to sign for 140. I can't give him that much more than Christensen.
I mean, just to play devil's advocate, though, Rudiger is at the age where it's his final big contract. Christensen's not at the age where he can demand a big contract. That's why lower.
That's fair. He just might have to get that somewhere else. You know, I don't know. It's just a lot of money, man. A lot of money for a center back.
I just think like if you're doing a free,
to do that, then sign another defender.
I think
mind
they
that
should
all
sign
of
him
them
and
sign
sign another
Kunde.
defender.
Sorry.
Bear in mind,
I think
already
they'll still
One,
get Kunde,
one
I
at a
think.
time, guys. One
Sorry.
at a time.
Okay.
Andrew.
You said it. I want Rudiger to sign, and we need to sign another defender anyway. So If we
that's
if we let
Zoomers,
Rudiger go,
Yeah, I mean, if
we let
I'm
Rudiger
honest,
go, we have to sign 2 defenders next summer.
yeah, I mean, we're already signing Koundé, and we could already
Well,
have
we
to
don't
spend
know.
60 million on Koundé.
We don't know that
Yeah.
for sure. But I'm just saying.
Koundé or another defender, but you don't want to
Yeah.
buy 2 defenders on top, another defender on top of that.
But was
No, it's
Chalobah
only
in the
if-
plans originally, though?
But he's put him. I mean, he was in the plans when Koundé was being bought.
Yeah.
But do you think he would have went out on loan if Koundé was coming in?
No, because Tuchel said he
No.
was staying at that point. He said he was
Yeah.
staying at about mid August.
Maybe he knew that Koundé wasn't coming, bro.
Nah, I think
The only way Chalobah was going to go on loan is if they couldn't sell Zuma. But they are always going to buy Koundé regardless. It was just a matter of could they sell Zuma, yes or no. That would sort of decide Chalobah's fate. But, I mean, he's a young guy. He's going to have plenty of time to bet his way into the team at some point. But I think they still target Koundé. I don't know. Who knows if they'll get him, but I think he's still probably their number one option right now.
That makes sense for sure. That makes sense. It's going to be interesting. Does anyone think Koundé will come in January? Actually,
Depends
I wouldn't
on.
mind it. I think they'll
Depends on
try.
what the club do.
I do
it
for spot depth.
depends on. Go on, Papa.
I do for spot depth.
Yeah.
I think it all
Probably.
depends on whether Rudiger signs or not. If Rudiger hasn't signed, they'll get Koundé in just for a safety net, just in case. And then they can go in, concentrate on the defender in the summer. But
Yeah, I think
maybe
they'll-
if Rudiger signs, maybe they'll wait again. It depends on what Zenit need to do. Because if Koundé's that unhappy,
Yeah.
we could possibly get him cheaper in January.
I think that makes sense. If Rudiger if they haven't made a decision on him by January, then I think you could see him maybe be sold in January if he hasn't signed. I mean it's a tough situation. You know Chelsea will want to get something for him if he's not going to resign.
That's the problem, though. It's the problem. It's not. As I keep saying, it's the problem. It's not like American sports where you can just. I know everyone knows it's something like that. He doesn't have to. He doesn't have to agree to anything. He can sign a big fat signing on bonus with whoever, Madrid, PSG, Bayern Munich, whatever, and sit there for the next 6 months.
Yeah, that's fair.
And still get and ironically still get paid by us. Sitting there for the last 6 months. It's one of those things. It's like I don't think we'd get a lot if we tried to say we maybe get maybe 5 to 10 mil because of the contract. Because of the contract, it's like that's why I think they want to try and get this done now before January hits. As soon as January hits, January 1st, he can sign for any foreign club.
Yeah.
I also want to get this notion out that I heard some things on the stream moments and different streams. I heard like, oh well, Rudiger loves the club. I was like, no, it's a job.
Yeah.
I think that's what people forget. It's a job.
Yeah. Can I just also say, John Terry, our greatest defender, held us up in 2009 for a new contract. He was linking himself to City. So our legends do this. So it's a job. We have to remember he's going to do what's right for him and his family. I also agree this report about 250, it's all about negotiation. Yeah. They're going to try and find a middle ground. Chelsea will offer him what they think he's worth. And if he accepts it, he accepts it. He doesn't, he doesn't. We then have to move on.
He just said it today. The number one thing on his mind right now is this being his last big chance to have a big contract. So that's all he's worried about right now.
We're the ones stupid to let it run down. That's when we're stupid enough to do that. We don't usually do that. It's stupid.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's no extension. There's nothing. There's
no.
Like, you know how we done it with Giroud? There was an extension option.
Yeah, we didn't even put it in.
Yeah, but I think it's because it was done ages ago. Giroud's had rolling contracts where it's more of a new thing to add options to put in an extra year.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it's a tough situation.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting for sure, man. So Rudiger, Christensen hasn't signed the deal yet, is it? We've just seen reports.
No, but it's basically from everything that's being reported. Is it?
Yeah.
It's basically done.
Do we know how much exactly or banned?
Some people said 100. Some people said 120.
Is what they're saying.
Some said 140. So
I think Simon Johnson. think Simon Johnson said 140, but I mean, again, that's who knows if that's with a bonus, without a bonus.
Josh, just quickly, how's Twitter?
It's all right. I don't mind it. It's a little distracting.
Yes,
you know,
that's what I was gonna
but
ask.
I've just been liking and retweeting like some of my buddies on YouTube stuff. That's basically what I don't do a lot of posting myself, but just sort of like and retweet some of your guys' stuff. That's pretty much it.
Yeah. No, it's good to see you on, man. Obviously, if it is proper distracting, please leave it as soon as possible. But I'll tell you one thing: you do leave, you'll come back and be addicted even more. I think that's what happened to me and Matt. Okay, listen, I was hoping for the others to be coming on by now, but unfortunately, with Marley timing, like Kazilla and stuff, they are late.
I mean, he's just gonna hate on Ruben anyway, so might as well just stay away.
We have Andrew for that.
So basically, obviously, I know you guys love Ruben Loftus-Cheek, but I want to chat to you guys on how serious he can be influential to this squad this season. What are your expectations from this player overall? Judging from the past game, maybe the game's coming up. Is he currently ahead of Saul in that midfield position? Because obviously he hasn't done well. But he did say it will take him at least 2 months to get up to speed, but I don't think we have 2 months to wait basically for players to get to that level. So we'll start with Matt. Obviously, we know you love Loftus-Cheek. Talk to me, your actual expectation for the player this season.
Well, my expectation, what, now or at the beginning of the season?
Both.
So at the beginning of the season, my realistic expectation was I hope he stays. I didn't expect him to get much. The odd game here and there in the Carabao Cup. Now I've seen the way he played last night and watching it back, it was probably the closest I've seen him to Sarri form since his injury. And I don't think it was that far off. There was some bits that was a bit off, but for someone that hasn't really played for Chelsea and at that level in the team, you can understand it. But I honestly think now, if he can, and this is a big if he can continue like that in other games, say the Malmo game or the next Carabao Cup game, and Sal continues to not look like he's adapted yet, honestly, he is fourth choice in that centre midfield. What I would like to see is him to play next to Jorginho, because I think that's where you see Ruben Loftus-Cheek at his best. Because yesterday, can I explain it? Can I explain quickly? So when I watched the game yesterday, I specifically just watched the midfield. So Sal, Kante, and Ruben Loftus-Cheek. When Kante come off, just watch Sal and Ruben. And at times, Sal was playing up as a left forward at times, because and he wasn't. And Ruben Loftus-Cheek was playing that more. I don't want to call it the Jorginho role, but he was that deep lying playmaker. Obviously, occasionally, as we've seen, he's gone up and made his dribbles and that, and he was really successful every time he did it. But he wasn't exactly playing in the position, the number 8 role that you'd that box to box type role that you'd expect him to play. So I think if he can play next to Jorginho, where Jorginho will do that regista role, and we do see Ruben in that more a number 8 role, consistently doing them driving, I think you're going to see a lot more than what you saw last night, and I think you'll see something good. The thing that gives me more confidence as well is Tuchel is flirting with this 3 in midfield. Now, I don't think it worked with the attacking 2 last night because you had Ziyech, who just isn't suited to that second striker role. But you've got Havertz, you've got Werner, and you've got Mason Mount, who potentially could play all 3 of them roles. And if you have a Jorginho Kante Kovacic or a Jorginho Kante Loftus-Cheek, that one gives Loftus-Cheek more chance to get in and Sal, but it also means that Loftus-Cheek can play his proper role in this system.
Can I come back in now?
Yep, you can come in.
Are you sure? Are you sure,
Wait,
host?
let him land. Let him land, Sadiq. Let him land.
Yeah, let him land. Let him land.
I already landed.
You landed yet? All right, cool. So, my only concern with that is because this is the second time I've heard about him linking up with Jorginho. I'm worried defensively. Okay,
But that's what I mean. If we're talking
Can
about
I
this,
speak? Can I
yeah,
speak, bro?
go on. Go on.
I'm worried. Okay, defensively. I think offensively, he's probably our best potential taking on players. Obviously, we know he can do it, but we need to see on a consistent basis. He can be that man that can go past 2 or 3 players at a time. We don't really have that guy in midfield to make that happen. So, obviously, he's that guy. I support that guy. I believe in that guy to do that. My only concern is if you play him and Jorginho in midfield, we will get. Okay, I can't say the R word, but we will get ripped instead defensively. That's what I'm worried about. Now, someone else came back saying we could play 3 midfield instead. So we sacrifice a forward. That makes sense. That's basically saying
That's my point.
So you're basically saying Mount's gonna get dropped long term. Like say if he makes it.
I'm not saying Mount would be the one.
Listen,
Mount could play in that
hang
second
on.
striker role. And
No,
equally,
he can't.
equally, he can play in that role as well with Ruben Loftus-Cheek as that number 8 because that is his role as well.
Okay, hang on. So basically, if Loftus-Cheek plays in the 3-man midfield, he can be that 8 to 10 role, and basically what we would see from Mason Mount, who hasn't really done that job properly. If we're being honest, this season he hasn't been good enough. He hasn't, earned his start this season. I do believe he'll come back stronger. Andrew believes the same as well, according to my sources. Father has been speaking to Hive as well about it. Him and Timo Werner are working on, what can be done with Mason Mount. But in a 2-man midfield, Matt, can Loftus-Cheek actually happen? Honestly.
Not long term. Yes, I'd argue not long term. You can play him in odd games,
like the cup games and the smaller
games. Yeah, but you can. I'm not saying throw him into a big team, and that's the thing. For now, Ruben will have to put up with the whole idea of squad rotation. I'm not sounding like Johnny. I am letting Sadiq have his view. I'm letting Andrew have his view. I don't agree with it, but I'm letting him have the view. I'm not trying to shout over. But what I'm saying is,
nearly did.
No, I got a bit hyped.
Let's have it.
Let's have it. But yeah, I just think that obviously he is going to have to put up with the squad rotation role and having to play the lesser games. But how everyone around Chelsea have spoke about how committed he is to try and get in this team. I think if he can try and stick it around long term, don't forget this midfield will change. Midfielders will be coming in, say a Tchouaméni, say a Frank Kessie. If these players start coming in, then that gives me a bit more. And say a Jorginho goes back to Italy, Kante starts eventually moving on. Say even a Kovacic decides that he wants to move on. Whatever happens, that breeds me more confidence that we can fit Ruben Loftus-Cheek in a system where it won't hamper us defensively. And I still think, anyway, Ruben can improve on his defensive game. That's one of the things you look at and I'm thinking, you can't be perfect, just come in straight away. I think he will improve defensively anyway from what he was last night. And he wasn't that bad. He made 4 recoveries, made 1 interception, 1 tackle. Obviously, there is more to improve from that. But I expect the improvement to come. But I see what we had under Sarri. I think if he can consistently improve that, then he can get in this team.
Okay, before we go to Father, I saw some accounts saying Barkley had a better game than Loftus-Cheek.
Okay.
Whoa! Even Andrew's got the.
No, he's agreeing, saying why do I have to bring up when it's truth? But
no, he knows.
Don't say even Andrew like I'm a Loftus-Cheek hater. Don't
I didn't say you're a
paint
hater.
me as that. No, not you. That went even Andrew. Like I'm telling you, like I'm the
I'm joking.
I know.
I'm just fishing.
But
I
honestly,
hooked-
like Ross
hooked, line, and
Barkley
sinker for me.
had moments where he was better than Loftus-Cheek as well.
When?
Yeah. What? He made a tackle.
Do you mean when he lost the ball in midfield?
Yeah.
He made a tackle and scored a penalty.
So you're saying that he didn't have a good game?
I mean,
I don't
he
think
was
he had a
alright
bad
when he
game.
came on.
Was he better than Ziyech?
That was the bar's very low there.
Yeah, it's like saying, "Oh, is he
No,
better?"
I've got to
than
test you.
Rudiger?
I've got to test you if you don't actually have an agenda against them or not.
Yeah, but the problem is you can't. It's hard to judge a 15-minute cameo
Yeah.
compared to someone that's played the whole game. If Barkley played the full game, would he have played that well? Maybe, but will he have also probably made a mistake like he does? Most probably.
What, like the penalty?
What do you mean, like the penalty?
He made a mistake. He scored it in the net.
Yeah, I'm not saying anything about that. I'm just saying he may have made a mistake throughout the game, like Ziyech did. May have made mistakes like Kalamazoo did. It's hard to judge a 15-minute cameo unless you're
Unless he banged in a hat trick.
yeah, unless you're like what Timo Werner was in the last game before that, where he got an assist, potentially created lots of opportunities. Barkley did okay, but nothing special.
Okay, Father, over to you, Loftus-Cheek. Where do you see him this season?
I'm not certainly one of the biggest fans of Loftus-Cheek.
Yeah.
But I feel like after last night's performance, you can look back on it and say, like, it's a fascinating story on what he has been through for the last season or so after he suffered that that torn ACL. I feel like whenever you look at him at times, I thought to myself, like, I thought he was done for good. And then Tuchel yesterday did something quite really magic behind the scenes that we don't know about to make him look better than the other midfielders. And I feel like if you look at from Loftus-Cheek himself, he does something to change the outlook on his career. But I feel like some people doesn't realize a few things. For example, let's say if he goes on loan to a team in the Serie A, would that make sense?
So basically, you're saying he has no chance in this squad.
I'm not saying that. I feel like my only concern is that.
Just quickly, it was Achilles, by the way, not ACL. Yeah, Achilles.
Yeah, it was Achilles.
Achilles, my bad. So
I mean, it's just as bad.
I'm not saying that he will get a chance this season. I feel like this season could be the last time that he can salvage his overall career.
So would you bring him in slowly into cup games only? Would you give him 10, 15 minutes towards the end of a Premier League game? Maybe take off Timo Werner? What would you do?
I would try to ease him in slowly because I'm only concerned about his after he's coming back from the Achilles injury.
Let me ask you something very quickly. Do you think he's scared? Not scared, but do you think he's a bit cautious on taking certain players, like at certain times, or do you just think he's still want to be that guy that takes on bare man?
I mean, I'm going to make the point he took on a fair few people. He attempted and had the most successful dribbles in the whole game for both teams with 5 dribbles. He had an 88% dribble success rate, so 5 out of 6. I think something like that. But and he was very more himself. Like when you compare Kalamazoo versus Ruben Loftus-Cheek, bearing in mind Ruben Loftus-Cheek was a worse injury, was out for a lot longer, but yet I've never seen Callum want to take on people anymore. He's always been a bit scared to do that. I don't know whether it is mentally he's not coping with that injury. No, I'm just saying he doesn't. We all know. We can all agree that he's not everyone said it at some point that he's just not. I don't want to say he's afraid to take a man on, but he's not confident in his body, and maybe that's because Ruben's had these injuries in the past with his back, and it's got to the point where he knows how to prepare himself and deal with it mentally, whereas Callum Hudson-Odoi has never had to deal with that before. But the fact that Ruben's looks much more himself, and that's because he's gone out and got a whole season of football and worked to build his confidence up, and now he's come into the team. And when the time comes, he's ready with his body, with his mentality, to come and try and play the best he can in his own right. And he has shown in this game, obviously, again, I want to see it more to see whether it is just a blip or whether it is something that to come that he could be back. I'm not going to say he's back now. The hype is over from last night. But we can't take the fact that it's a good performance, and it's more that I've seen more from Ruben than I've seen Loftus-Cheek. I've seen Callum Hudson-Odoi. Arguably over the last 12 months.
I mean, listen, there's no need for comparison there.
I'm just saying, it's the two of the similar injuries, two of the similar players in terms of how they like to dribble. And it's just shown that one is able to get over that mental block and the other may not have had that. Callum was very good. Everton at home, Palace away, Rennes away. Oh, I'd argue not Rennes, but there you go. That's what I'm saying. Kazilla is just hating for the sake of hating, but I'm not saying that it's. I'm saying we've got to see it consistently. This could be a blip for all we know, but
it's one game, bro.
This is what I'm saying. If we can, that's why I keep saying if. If you listen to what I'm saying, I'm always saying if. I'm not saying it is.
Why are you saying if? Do you have belief in him?
I have belief in him, but I'm saying if for the benefit of you guys, and looking at the other side of the coin, to think what if it is a blip. I'm trying to be unbiased here. You told me to be unbiased, and I'm being unbiased. If
you can be more unbiased, more.
Oh, Loftus-Cheek's the worst player in the world, or something like that. Is that how you would think?
No, not like that. But like you said, one game could. Hopefully, it's not a blip. Hopefully, he's coming back to obviously the form that we want to see from him. I'm just curious to see where he comes in. What's the point of us signing Saul on loan? I know it's 5 million only, the fee, but
no, but I mean,
it makes sense for me.
It depends, because you if Saul does eventually start adapting and starts playing well, then he probably will get in over Ruben Loftus-Cheek. But sometimes players don't adapt. It's one of them signings that it's low risk, there's no low risk, high reward. So you're paying 5 million loan fee, which is nothing. Potentially you get a really good player, but if he doesn't become that player, then it's what happens. I remember with Kovacic, you had Jorginho, you had Kante, you had players like Barkley in that team. Kovacic didn't exactly have a definite first choice space, but he adapted well and proved himself to get the option to buy sealed. And Sal has got to do the same thing. He's got Kante, he's got Kovacic, he's got Jorginho. He has got technically Ruben as that what was a fifth choice, maybe fourth choice, depending on how you want to play it. But Sal has got to prove that he can get into this team. Maybe it will take him 2 months. I'd argue if it's going to take him 2 months to adapt, that's too late, because that by then, if Ruben plays enough games and does consistently play well, it's going to be a struggle for him to get in. But all I'm saying is we've got potentially 65 games this season. We have got plenty of games to see all of our midfielders play. And it's up to the midfielder, whoever it is, whether it's Ruben, Sal, etc., to stamp their authority and stamp a place in this team.
All right, just quickly, Father, I need to hear about Werner. He was up front yesterday. He had a very good header. He also had a shot after the header, which I was a bit disappointed with. I don't know if you saw the highlights, wasn't on target. His performance was described as a typical Timo Werner performance with a bonus goal, aka average. I want to know what your response is to that and what's next for him.
I think I'm going to disagree on that statement that it was just average performance. I thought he was magnificent the whole second half. I feel like in the second half he really did try everything that he could. And in the end, he got that calf injury, but overall performance, he was good though. Nothing really can be described bad for Timo Werner last night, because I thought for me that there's another player that has the bad performance. That was Hakim Ziyech. There's a reason why Werner was non-existent in that final third in the first half, because we were so awful in terms of the end product passes. That's why Timo Werner get isolated at times. It was just more like crossing, inshallah, mentioned side to side. So, if honestly people want to try to criticize Timo Werner, I suggest you look at the mirror yourself. And because I was there myself, I can see like there's more than just Timo Werner's performances. Like literally, he was so active last night, and because when I saw him yesterday when he went off. He limped off the pitch. I tell him, like, come on, Timo, come on. I was screaming at him in the touchline.
Did he hear you? Did he hear you?
Oh, of course he heard me, man, because I was literally like...
Wait, he was right next to you, no? He was right next to you, mate.
He was right next to me. And Daniel, you take the LG. You take the LG. I know you're getting cooked today. No, Daniel. Big up Daniel's in the chat.
This one?
Yeah, big up Daniel's in the chat. Daniel, take the LG.
Which Daniel's this?
Oh, he was a big up though. He was from Monster Channel. Big up to him.
Oh.
Daniel, I love you, but take the LG. I'm watching you, but yeah, man. So we should see tomorrow what the scan look like. Apparently, I think she should be all right. It's just one of those things. Like I think that was a bit cautious yesterday when he falls down. Like he was really screaming for her, like really hurt though when he holding his calf. But I hope he's okay tomorrow. So we're gonna have to hear from the Tuchel press conference, and let's see if he starts on Saturday.
Yeah, Kazilla thinks he should start on Saturday. Let's see how he does with Lukaku. How's his performance? Obviously, how many minutes was it, guys? Like 15, 20 minutes with Lukaku, right?
Yeah, about 20 minutes.
Yeah. I mean, did we see anything, or was it not enough time?
I mean, we saw bits and bobs. It wasn't as much as the Aston Villa game, but it's still. I still think it's something we need to try properly, because it's hard to look at 15, 20-minute spells and go, that's it, that works. But I mean, I don't think Werner had the best game. I do think he played okay yesterday. Obviously got his goal, so that's what matters. But I do make the point. Werner was up top on his own. We know that Werner likes to play with a Lukaku, and we've said this. We wouldn't. I do think it was kind of unfair to just go, oh, Werner didn't play well yesterday but he was up there on his own. Ziyech was about as useless as a plastic bag. So he didn't get too much support.
Plastic bags hold a lot of stuff, you know. Just like to defend plastic bags.
Yeah, but they're like flimsy as anything. You can break them quite easily. Ziyech gets broken quite easily.
Just quickly, big up Justice. I know you gotta go back to work, man. I hope everything's well and I hope everything's okay. Hopefully we can see you tomorrow, Friday, maybe for preview Saturday, so maybe a big Man City one. I'm sure if I was looking forward to that. Matt, I need you to take over. I did say I was gonna disappear.
Yeah, by the way, there's that question from Daniel Techers. Yes, it will be on TV on Saturday. BT Sport Ultimate or One HD.
Oh, BT, thank you for confirming, so I can watch that at home whilst you're not in the stadium. Matt, you got a topic in head?
Yeah, I mean, we'll carry on with the Werner thing. I mean, Andrew,
Okay.
what did you think of Timo Werner's performance yesterday? And do you think he should play against Man City with Lukaku?
that's the biggest decision for me on Saturday, whether we go with Werner or Havertz. I think he'll side with Havertz because Werner played whole 90 minutes and seemed to pick up a knock. Havertz had a week off. He does like to play against Ruben Diaz. If we go in a 2, I'm not sure we'll go in a 2 though. That's the problem. I think.
Yeah, well, we've seen about a game and a half of this 3-5-2 now. So
yeah, and I've liked it. I think it gives us more options, especially against the City team. I think if we play them 3 in the middle, I think we'll dominate City's midfield. I don't care what type of attacking talent they have. I think we'll dominate them. And I like Havertz. He seems to like playing against Ruben Diaz. Werner's performance. I've redefined my expectations of Werner. So I go into every game that Werner plays not expecting him to score. So yesterday for me was a Werner performance I've seen before, where he impacted the game, and it's nice he had a goal bonus on there as well. So I didn't think it was anything. It's a great header. I think, like you said, Matt, he's playing up front on his own. How seriously is Tuchel taking the competition, only playing Werner up front by himself? Do you know what I mean? You know what I mean? We all knows it doesn't work. Even he knows it doesn't work. Him up there by himself. Yeah, I thought it was a great header, great goal. And you know what? I'm glad to see him score, and I want him to score. But if I now take out the expectations that I want him to that he needs to score, then I won't be disappointed by him. Do you know what I mean? And that's sad. Also saying like, "Oh, take the L" or something. I know Father does. I like Father. Does it, but let's see if he does this for maybe 2 games in a row. Scoring, can we have that, please? But
Hello. He scored 4 goals in the space of a month. Space of this month, though.
Did he score them for Chelsea?
Oh yes, he did yesterday.
No. Did he score all the 4 goals for Chelsea? Because if he didn't, and I know he didn't, and I'm answering my own question, then I don't care who he scores for. I only care when he scores for Chelsea.
Okay.
So, when he scores 4, I tell you what, when he scores for 4 games in a row for Chelsea, then I'll gladly give you some a flower, not all flowers, because he has to earn that throughout the season. But we move.
But anyway, we've got a new person in the video. Charlie, how are you doing, my friend?
Not too bad, guys. How are you doing?
what's going on, Charlie?
Good. What did you think of the game yesterday?
Bro, Charlie sounds like Matt, fam.
He don't sound like me.
Yeah,
I don't know if that's an insult or a compliment.
I don't know.
Hey man,
We got Charlie. I'll be back.
Steve, yeah, go back and do your work.
Yeah, I'll be back. Stay safe.
Anyway, Charlie, what did you think of the game yesterday?
It could have gone better. That's all I can really say. It could have gone better.
Yeah, but what did you make? What did you think was lacking from the performance?
Chemistry. I mean, 10 changes, you're going to lack the chemistry.
Yeah, that's true. But was we expecting that?
Of course.
I mean, what did you feel the attack was the thing that was struggling the most?
Ziyech.
Yes,
I'm going in.
Hey, Charlie, put some effort into these answers, bro.
I'm going in,
bro.
Right,
what is
so
this? What is this one word, bro? You're making me come back.
Matt's saying we're lacking in attack. Ziyech is not a striker, so we're trying to play a 2-striker system. Ziyech isn't a striker.
Are you worried about Ziyech's form in general? Obviously, the last 3 games he's struggled potentially. What do you think the reasons are behind that?
I'd be more worried if he wasn't in this system. If he was played in a different position, maybe.
What do you think? What would you say is Ziyech's preferred position? And do you think there's any system Tuchel plays that Ziyech has a position he suits? Because so far, all I've heard for the last 6-7 months is Ziyech isn't fitted to this formation. We change it. He's not fitted to this. So where exactly would he fit in this Tuchel system?
So if we're going to play the three midfielders, you play him as one of the three.
As in, like, one of these 8-10s.
Yeah, so you've got your one that's gonna sit, be it a Kante, a Jorginho, and then you can potentially have a Ziyech with one of the others to do the dirty work, and then he's got the whole of the middle of the pitch to dictate the game. No pressure on him having to score goals, which is what a striker does.
Yeah, that's fair enough. Josh, what do you think of that, and what do you think of Ziyech's overall form this season since the shoulder injury?
He's been terrible. I mean, I don't rate the preseason, so like for me, him having a good preseason, it's not going to translate to a regular season for me. I think he's been poor. I think Charlie's probably right. His best position is probably in a creative midfield role. Unfortunately, he's probably third, fourth option at that position on our team. And so, yeah, I'm basically done with Ziyech, to be perfectly honest with you. I think I've seen enough. I think the game is just too quick for him in England. I think he needs a league where he has some time, some space, and that's just not allotted to you in English football. So to me, if there's a team that wants to come and get him in January, he's more than welcome to leave. I've seen enough. It's not a fit.
So would you say for you it's the end of Ziyech?
Yeah, I think so. I think so. I don't see a place for him in this formation and the systems that we run where he fits in. And I think he's had enough of a sample size to sort of to judge. Unlike some other players where maybe they haven't had enough time to really make a full opinion on them, I think he has. And I just don't think it's a fit. I really don't. I just don't see a position for him where he really gets to show what he does best. And for me, it just hasn't worked out.
Yeah, I mean, Father, obviously you were in the stadium yesterday. Did you feel that people on maybe watching it online were a little bit harsh to Ziyech, or do you agree that Ziyech's time could be up at the club?
It was fair assessment. I feel like Ziyech yesterday, he has been given a lot of chances to be in the starting lineup, but I feel like he's just too cocky of himself. Maybe it's just individually. I think like he's that type of player, like, you know, that has that cocky individual that within himself. Though I feel like the confidence of him doesn't, it doesn't matter. I think confidence doesn't have the issue for Hakim Ziyech. I think it's just more feel like his personality in all level, that kind of ruined him in this team. And maybe it's just like he's that type of player that lacks of attitude as well in the team. In all fairness, I feel like Ziyech needs to do something to resurrect his career at Chelsea, or like you said, maybe his time is up at some point this season if he doesn't do it.
Yeah, fair enough. I mean, Andrew, do you agree with all this, or do you have a different point of view? Do you think Ziyech deserves a bit more of a chance?
No, I said this earlier. I need us to start targeting consistent, experienced players. I need us to, because we've got a very youthful squad and we're waiting for them to step up. I don't need an experienced player waiting for them to step up. I'm sorry, I just need them to I need to see evidence that they're going to hit the ground running. I know he's had injury issues and stuff like that, and I feel bad for saying it, but I just need them to. I need the experience. Because we've got such a youthful team. I need the experienced players to be on it to balance the inexperience and the youth, essentially. Ziyech, I agree with people. I don't think he suits a 3-4-3, 3-5-2. I really don't. But unfortunately, that's what our manager. Sorry, not 4-5-2. unfortunately for him, that's what our manager is playing, and it's working. So we can't offset a whole system for one player. I will say this, Matt. I think it was brought up yesterday on this stream. I think he should have taken the surgery on his shoulder. I really do. I think he should have done that because I think it was you, Matt, that said it. Actually, credit to you. The way he looks with that, whatever he's got on his shoulder, you know, it's trying to keep it in place or like making sure, you know. And I just feel the guy streaming with Will. I think he said it perfectly. I think he's a moments player. Do you know what I mean? It's like he's just scored some big goals last season in Europe and in the cups, and maybe that's the pace is better suited. Other than that, yeah, I think he's done. I really do. I'm done with him. I'm done with him. Seriously, I'm not even talking about like go to Hazard level. Give me Andre Schürrle level. Do you know what I mean? At least Andre Schürrle showing me some levels. I mean, let's get desperate. Show me at least decent Willian level. Do you know what I mean? I'm not seeing any Willian level. You know, if
you're dragging it that far down to Willian level, then it's showing. I mean, in terms of the shoulder injury, I think it's. I was thinking last night. I wonder whether it's who actually made the decision about whether Ziyech should get surgery or not. I think it seems like a typical, maybe a club selfish thing where they know if he has a surgery, he'll be out for a while, and whether they wanted him to play, and knowing that they have Pulisic who can be injury prone, Callum who can pick up a few injuries, etc. I'm wondering whether they were just like, we'll try and use the brace, and that even though that may not help his development and may not help him, at least that's him playing. I don't know whether it might be a selfish club type of thing, which you can understand, but we'll see what happens. I mean, Kazilla, how are you doing, my friend?
What's happening, brothers? What's going on?
Hey, Kozila.
What do you think on this whole Hakim Ziyech thing? Do you think his time is up, or do you think we should give him more time?
It's difficult. It's very difficult. I want to echo what Andrew said as well about the system doesn't get the best out of him, which is correct. He's not really inside forward. He provides width, but he can cut in as well. So it's not really the best fit. I feel like at his age, we can't afford him the same amount of time we afford some of the youngsters as well. So you got to be a lot more harsh with Ziyech. So it's really one of them ones. But I don't think he's commanding a lot of wages, but he's taking up squad space for younger players to develop. Maybe a Callum, maybe a Pulisic. It's going to take more game time. So if he continues his form, then I'm not going to be against him moving on.
Yeah, that's fair enough. I mean, big up to Miss Melina, $10 super chat. Big up Deeks, Father, Matt, Josh, and Andrew. I assume that was done before Kazilla and Javi came in.
No, she don't like them.
Better be.
Javi, how you doing, my friend?
Better be. I'm doing well, man. Yo, Matt, you seen the Ruben Loftus-Cheek highlights versus Villa?
Oh,
bro, I watched the game again just to watch Ruben Loftus-Cheek.
Yo. Anyway, talking about Ziyech. I rated this guy, man, and I'm a big fan, and I really think he's in discomfort. Not to make excuses, but I know how it is playing with that brace on, bro. You don't move the same. I play with a brace on. That joint is mad uncomfortable. Like, I think it gets used to. You're not as free moving. And he's coming into games, and it's just little moments he's having. It's not throughout the game where he's effective and everything like that. So, for instance, like second half, we scored, right?
Yep.
And he played a brilliant ball in for Werner. He had a shot, then everyone in, and then played a ball for Werner. If he can do that over a consistent basis and not have these dry spots in the game, then it could work. But the thing is, it's like we kind of don't need that. Like, he's a senior player and he's up there in age, and we need someone like, say, KDB. He's always constantly affecting the game throughout the game. So we need some, like, if we have to move him on or we get something better, I'm all for it.
I agree. Let's sell him and buy De Bruyne back.
That's a bit far.
Yeah.
Well, send him to get Bernardo Silva. I know what Jess said, but send him to get Bernardo Silva.
Yeah, I mean, since we're on that debate, say hypothetically we do sell Hakim Ziyech. Obviously, we're going to need another wide player in. I'll go through each one of you, but just tell me who you would like to realistically bring in and why you'd bring him in. Josh, I'll start with you.
Man, I don't want to take a lot of shit from this, but Eden Hazard.
Oh, you got to say your reasons why, bro.
That's emotional.
Because he's an incredible player, and he's not playing right now.
That is the sheer emotion just coming right into that.
I mean, I honestly, I don't know who else. I guess guys they've talked about Sane, but I don't see him leaving Bayern Munich. Chiesa, I would love Chiesa, but I don't know if he'll ever leave Italy. I guess Chiesa would be the dream signing if you could get him to be that sort of left-footed replacement. But outside of that, man, I don't, because Illa's probably better at this. He knows a lot of these guys who like no one's ever heard of play in leagues. No one's ever heard of who can play ball. But Chiesa for me, I think would probably be the best left-footed replacement.
Yeah, I mean, Andrew, who would you bring in hypothetically?
It's a tough one because I agree Sane would be hard to get out Bayern. I think Chiesa, I don't think you've able to sell him. Problem is, there's not like a middle ground. They're either young or they're older. Like you'll go, well, like Perisic was like 5 years younger. I'd say Perisic.
Mm-hmm.
So I think he can do a job. I've seen him do it in 2 leagues. I'm forced to go young, and this might sound crazy, but I thought before he got his injury, I was all for Pedro Neto from Wolves.
Same.
I need to see how he returns from injury, though. That's all. I think it was a dislocated kneecap or something like that. And I just need to do that. That's the problem. There's no one that stands out. Am I talking about a winger though, or am I saying? But if I'm saying like a creative player, then I know what Jester says, but I would go to Man City and say how much for Silva, Bernardo Silva. I really would. I'd go. I think he's a classy. He's a very underrated player. I think Bernardo Silva is. That would be my choice. I'd go for him.
Yeah, fair enough. I think Bernardo Silva's a very good player, so I wouldn't blame you. Father, do any of them names tempt you, or is there someone else in the mind that you've got that would be good for the Chelsea team?
I'd probably say Chiesa, probably the only one from Juventus that I can think of on my mind that can come to this team, you know. But apart from that, I generally can't think of no one that hasn't got that ability like Chiesa that could, you know, that could come and then make this team go even further. So, who else in the Europe that is really still available as a winger? Maybe Vinicius Junior, but he's in that team in Real Madrid right now, so I wouldn't be fussed about it. Should we bring up Eden Hazard's rumor again to Chelsea?
No.
You can bring it up. You can say whatever you want on this channel.
Because we are the shameless Chelsea fan base in the universe. Why not? Why not bring back the
Bring him home.
Bring him home. If United can bring Ronaldo home, why not us then?
But what is your reasons behind bringing them home, apart from emotion?
Apart from, I feel like if Hazard comes home, yeah, I genuinely think that front three will be a monster. Hazard, Werner, Lukaku up front. That is some saucy front three.
No.
Doing it right there.
I'm going to tell
Hazard's
you
gonna waste his
who
assists
plays
on
where
Werner.
in the front three, Father. Who plays where?
Oh, I got somebody.
Yeah, because Hazard likes to play on the left.
Havertz, Hazard, and Lukaku. What a nasty front three.
He says Ronaldo, right? And that's true. There's comparison to bringing home Ronaldo is just that. Hazard has played less games than Ronaldo scored goals in the past year, in his whole entire career at Real Madrid.
Oh
Yeah?
God.
Yeah, do you know what I mean? So I'm all good. You know, he can come back to Chelsea and walk on the pitch at half time when he retires. But you know, I don't. We got.
It's okay, Andrew. It's okay. You don't rate Hazard. It's okay. We
Yeah,
get
that's
it.
right. Yeah, you're one of the worst. Yeah. Don't get me started the job, bro. You know what I mean? And Lampard. I'll dismantle them. They'd release that as easily. Yeah, don't worry about that.
Yeah, I mean, Charlie, who would you bring in? Obviously, I'm expecting a one-word answer.
I'm going to throw a wild name out there. Robert Lewandowski.
What, as a replacement winger?
No, not as a winger, because if we stay playing a 3-5-2, we're then lacking on central strikers. So I'm going on that route. Robert Lewandowski.
Charlie, what do we do with Werner then?
He can sit on the bench.
Yes.
No, I mean, Lewandowski's old enough to be on the bench, and he's the experience to cover the position. You've got two then prolific goal scorers in Lukaku and Lewandowski. Big covered for the next two seasons.
My question about that would obviously striking partnerships have to work. Do you think Lukaku and Lewandowski could work together as a good partnership? There may be two good strikers, and in the ideal world, that may work. But do you think them two would combine well?
I wouldn't necessarily think them two together. More of either one of them two with a Werner.
I think the problem is Lewandowski going to want to play a bit part role, because realistically, one of him or Lukaku will do, because there's going to be one striker who will be favoured. I don't know whether either one of them players would want that. I mean, it's a bold statement. I mean, I like that you've not just gone with the typical Chiesa or Eden Hazard, but I rate that.
Shots thrown
out there.
Yeah, I mean,
read that super chat, Matt.
Yeah, I was gonna just about read it. Big up Sir Gareth Southgate, £15 donation. Large up for the panel. I'll make sure not to burn out Mason Mount for the international break next month. We're gonna win those matches next month. Well, you better, or you're getting sacked from a job. At the moment, Gareth Southgate out.
Yeah, you're going to play for 90 minutes, you fraud. That's what you're going to do in all games.
Yeah, you know you're going to play him for 90 minutes. Don't lie to us. Don't fill our hopes up. I mean, at the moment, Tuchel's giving him a long rest, so he can just play on international duty if he wants. But anyway, Kazilla, I'm going to come to you because obviously you do like to pick out a lot of different players. Who would you bring in as a Ziyech replacement?
Funnily enough, I would go back to his old team. To be fair, you guys know Ajax produce a lot of good talent. Obviously, they had wingers like Quincy Promes. They had David Neres, who's all right. But for me, my pick of the bunch would be Anthony. Anthony from Ajax is a great player. I feel like he's technically sound. He doesn't really need a lot of space to do his stuff. Obviously, he's Brazilian, so that helps. When he gets the ball in half-turn, he's rapid, he's quick, he can pass players quickly. So for me, I'd take a gamble on Anthony because I don't think he'll take a lot of money. So like I think Ziyech is not on a lot of money, and we didn't pay a large amount for Ziyech anyway. So I feel like Anthony would be a good replacement, but I feel like the end goal, if you want to like solidify our team 100%, we should go for Chiesa. But the metrics, the money, like with Ziyech for Chiesa doesn't really make any sense. So I feel like we should be looking in our price range if we're doing a swap for swap. So I'd probably go for Anthony because from what I've seen of him, he's a class player. I want to give an honourable mention to Trincao as well. Trincao at Wolves, quality as well. I remember I watched him against Man United. He ripped them apart. So, but he went to Wolves instead of another big team because they were the only ones in for him. But I feel like that's a good bit of business for Wolves. But Yeah, I'd go with Anthony.
Screw it. Let's get St. Maximum. We're skirting around it. Let's just get St. Maximum. Everyone's skirting around it.
Yeah, I mean, to be fair though, Anthony is it is an option I was thinking of. I think we do miss that kind of Brazilian flair. We've always had it before. For, like players like Ramirez,
Hey,
Willian to an
You want
extent.
Hazard back? Oscar's on the market. Bring Oscar back.
Yeah.
He can show Mason Mount how to do it properly.
They do a better job. But yeah, I think Anthony would be a good. I think it would be a little bit of I'd say a little bit of a risk because obviously the Dutch league is a big step up compared to the other league. But
I like that though. He said replace the Dutch league failure with another Dutch league failure.
You know what? It sounds like that, but they're completely different players. Like Ziyech.
I know. I just
yeah, they are different players. So it's not like, and I do think Anthony would actually probably fit in a bit better than Ziyech into the Premier League with his playing
What's his
style.
age? Kazilla, do you know?
He's 22, isn't he?
He's 21.
20? Oh, he's younger than I thought. But yeah, I mean, he's a good player. Obviously, again, he's going to be one of them ones that we may have to wait for. So probably Chiesa would fit that more. Xavi, finally coming to you. I know everyone's kind of picked all the players now, but who would you bring in? Is there anyone that anyone else hasn't said that you'd bring in, or out of everyone's picks? Who would you say?
I'll bring a Rafinha from Leeds.
Yeah, it's a good shout.
Naughty shout.
It's naughty.
And you know why? Like, that Leeds team, you have to run everywhere. Like, I'm not saying run everywhere, but you do have to do it's man to man. So he has to track back and all that. So I feel like he'll suit that defensive side and the pressing side. Plus his creative, and I think he has a little bit more. I don't know if he has more pace, but he's more fluid with the ball and can do more things. With could be very more effective than Ziyech can. What we've seen so far.
Yeah, I mean, I do think Rafinha's work rate would fit in a Tuchel system. He's also Premier League proven. He's been pretty good, so that could be a good shout. And I don't think he'd command a first team role, so that's probably the most the one I like the most actually out of everyone's.
Can I change my answer?
Go on.
We're going to sign Adama Traore.
Oh no! Don't.
I was gonna say that as a joke. I was really gonna say that as a joke.
Don't start with that pound man Usain Bolt.
And move Callum from wing back to winger, and then you have a better wing back in Adama Traore.
Oh
No, to be honest though, he was ripping Man U.
I like Traore.
I do as well when I'm playing rugby. When I'm playing football.
Yeah.
Tuchel wanted a direct wing back. Callum's not being direct enough.
This guy, oh man, don't. Well, I wouldn't even. When he's running down the wing, if I was Lukaku, I wouldn't even bother getting in the box. You know what I mean? I just wouldn't bother. It's like there's no point.
But anyway, we'll go to the comment section because there's a few players that the comment section have picked out. Varna says Usama Dembele. Guys, yes or no?
Who?
No.
Usama Dembele.
Is he from Lyon?
Is the Barcelona player.
Oh, breadsticks. As he's generally called. Yeah.
Breadsticks himself. Pulisic Part 2.
He gets injured more than Pulisic, so no.
Yeah. The man's made of breadsticks. Not a chance in hell.
Barcelona have ruined his career, man.
That's fine, but the only time he has a decent run of form is when you pick him in FIFA, not in real life. He's just not at all.
Yeah, I mean, anyone would even take him, or is everyone in agreement? Just no way.
Not for me.
Not a chance. Never.
Yeah, I mean, that's a no from me as well. I mean, we've got enough injury-prone players as it is. The one Danzo comes up with a good one. Karim Adeyemi from Red Bull Salzburg. Is that a risk that you guys would take, or is he just a bit too lower level for Chelsea?
I'll be honest with you, Matt. I've never seen him play.
After
So I
that,
can't give
I
any
have a
opinion.
shout. What about Leon Bailey?
He's at Villa.
He's at Villa now.
Yeah, but he's not. He's not. I don't think he's going to move after one season.
I'm a little bullish right now on Bundesliga guys coming over. I think it's yet to be seen if they're
Have you
right
seen him
fits.
play?
Who,
Wait, is
Bailey?
it in Salzburg, Austrian League?
Oh,
Yeah,
Salzburg guys. Oh,
Danny Olmo?
Who?
Danny Olmo? Spanish
Olmo?
Leipzig?
He's not a bad player, but I don't know.
What about Jamal Musiala?
The one that got away.
Don't make
Yes.
all the Cobham guys come out of their caves.
He has been
Well-
very good though.
Well, to be fair, Loftus-Cheek is a problem, guys. So
Yeah, but we sorted all that. We've done that.
Mhm.
Don't make me start going on about Ruben Loftus-Cheek for the next half an hour. KJ said a good one. Bring back Forgan Hazard. Anyone want to go with the BTEC Hazard or?
we had all
Eden.
three. We had all three of them at once. We had all the
I
prefer
Hazards
Eden.
at one time, man.
No,
I don't
there's
know.
only one you don't get.
You know the problem with Hazard. It's just not a name like Forgan Hazard. Sorry, it's just not a name that you go, oh yes, he's a good player. I've seen him play for Dortmund. He's been a good player, but you know when you say, oh, Chelsea are linked to Hazard, and then they'll go, oh, he doesn't come back. No, it's Forgan. We'll go, oh, okay, yeah.
Garden of
Alright.
Storgen doesn't sound as good as Garden of Eden.
Yeah, I mean that reminds me of just Ultimate Team when you see the Argentina right wing come up, you get excited and it's Di Maria.
walk out.
But anyway, Smelts Heron, he did also say
Yes!
Dharma
Smells
Traore,
good. Yes.
but he also said Saint Maximin. Would any of you
I knew
guys
it.
take
That's
Saint
where I got
Maximin?
it from. I got it from him. So I thought someone would eventually bring him up, but no one said Maximum. All right. Yeah.
Can I say this about Aston Maximin? Aston Maximin, I like him, he's a bowler, but unfortunately, he's a mid-table pace merchant wonder. So we move on from him, please.
Yeah. He's having a good. He's having what at the moment for him. It's just a purple patch at the moment. That's all I'm deeming it as a purple patch because he's had a lot of injuries. He's had a lot of injuries as well. That's the thing. We got to buy someone who's not got an injury record. Do you know what I mean? We need to buy someone like who comes up, and maybe we should stop thinking of wingers and just think of attacking players. You know, I think if we have more options.
Yeah. I mean, Donald's come up with an interesting one. I don't know whether it's actually exactly realistic, but he said Gnabry.
Yeah. You never know, right? You never know unless you try. And remember all the stories in you can see it where everyone well willing to Sane, but somehow we've worked out a deal for Gnabry. I feel it's something like that. You know, it's remember the stories about in the Summer of Us and Chouameni, but they were actually about Koundé. It's just that people forgot that the agent represents both players. It's stuff like that.
Do they have the same agent then?
Yeah, Koundé and Chouameni have the same agent. Yeah.
No, I mean Gnabry and Sane.
Oh, I don't know. No. What I'm talking about is that we linked to a Bayern winger.
Oh,
I think
okay,
it's
yeah.
Sane because he's and then somehow it'll end up with Gnabry or something like that. What I do hope it's not Coman. That's all because that's another guy.
Oh
I
God,
don't
Coman,
want
yeah.
that. Yeah. And he's on a free as well. He's on a free in the summer as well.
Imagine having Breadsticks FC of Coman, Dembele, and Pulisic.
Okay.
It's dreadful. I mean, Strip Bears put a comment in. This is more directed to me. Matt, how many games you seen live? Probably about 30 to 50. I don't count how many games I've seen live, but I've seen quite a few on and off. Anyone else? I think good name. The one Smelts also said Thomas Müller. I think that was after. I think that was after Charlie put the whole Lewandowski.
Is he being sarcastic?
All right, boys.
See you, Josh.
Big up,
Later.
everyone.
See you, mate.
See you later, Josh. Yeah, I do not want Thomas Muller.
I could always count on Josh having to leave the stream before anybody else. Always.
Hey, man, he's 5 hours behind, remember? It's only like 4 in the afternoon. Oh, you know that, yeah.
Jesus, KJ's coming up with all the injury-prone players now. He said bring in Marco Reus.
These players wouldn't pass a fitness test, the medical. Do you know what I mean? They wouldn't sign them. They wouldn't pass the medical. So, you know, everyone goes to can't pass the eye test. You wouldn't pass the fitness test. These lads, you know, stop looking at injury-plagued players. You need people that are dependable. We've got a problem already with injury-plagued people. Just add more.
Knowing the club, why don't we just continue signing people that have scored or assisted against us? Who's done that recently?
In that case, that means we just get David McGoldrick up front.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
Done.
Yeah, or that West Brom player. You know.
Callum Robertson.
Yeah.
He annoys me every time. He scores.
Did Mohamed Salah not score against us? It was a penalty, but
you know what though, and this might sound mad. You know he's not signed a new contract yet. He's only got 1 year or something.
Yeah, but I have a feeling he's looking at not maybe Real Madrid, but one of the Spanish clubs.
Yeah, but they can't afford him, and Real Madrid are going to pay for Mbappe and Haaland next year.
Yeah, but I mean, if Real Madrid are looking to go for all the frees, then
maybe
you never know. I mean, look what PSG did this summer, so it's not completely out of it. But I mean, I don't know how a Salah, Haaland, and Mbappe forward line would work, but I never thought.
Get Perisic, like I said before. About
4-2-4.
I mean, another comment. This is. I'm assuming this is a joke. JC Pinchy has said Ryan Kent. I don't even know. I don't even. He then said. He then said Saeed Benrahma and then Pablo Fornals. Anyone want to take any of them players?
No.
The problem is, I'm looking for someone to start, or like be in the manager's plans to start.
Hey, you don't think Ryan Kent would start for Chelsea?
Ryan Kent, you know, I think he's found his level with Rangers, and I'll just leave it like that.
It's shocking.
You know?
I can understand when he says Saeed Benrahma just a little bit, but Ryan Kent, Jesus. He has just said Gio Reyna as well. What do we think of Gio Reyna? Possible new Captain America or not?
I don't know. Too young. All the wingers from Dortmund aren't working out well at the moment. Dembele, Pulisic, Sancho's had a slow start. So another winger from Dortmund that I'm not sure.
Yeah, I mean, what do you guys think of Sancho so far? Did you expect him to be so slow coming in, or do you still have? Well, I know we're not Man United fans, so we don't need to have faith in him. But do you think he'll get better and become the player that he was in Germany?
I'm going to give you a very quick answer here.
That's no surprise.
He won't. He won't because the people he's playing with. He's in Germany. You look at the quality of players he had around him. He doesn't have that, and he had the time to build the understanding at Dortmund. I think you're going to have to wait at least a full season to see him click and find the connections with at least some of the players.
I agree.
Yeah, it's just funny to watch him at Man United failing again because it seems to always happen.
Well, he went to the wrong club. He should have come to us.
Yeah. Do you think he would succeed at Chelsea if he came?
The thing is, I think the manager's far superior than what
I
they've got
think-
in Old Trafford. I think he would not rush him in. I think he'd slowly build him up and put him in, like he does some of the players. And I just think, I think we have a better surrounding than United at the moment. We have a better squad. We've got winners, we've got leaders. And I just think he'd find it better settling in. I know he's got friends in either team, so
Yeah. Okay, JC Pinchy is really taking a mick now. He just said Todd Cantwell.
I mean, he can come in over Ruben.
No, Charlie. All right, get out.
Oh no.
Nah. I'm done.
And look at your screen. You have Ruben on your screen. Then you're gonna talk crazy like this.
Screen. I was
Charlie,
saying
you
it
don't
as a
deserve
joke.
to have Ruben.
I was saying it as a joke. Come on.
Oh, that's nothing to joke about.
No, we take RLC very serious here.
So we just preempt the next name before it pops up. No, we don't want Ismail Sarr either. Thank you very much from Watford.
He's actually very underrated.
I'm surprised no one mentioned him. I thought someone in the comments section would have mentioned him. Jay Pinchy has now just said Eze, but before injury.
Well, he's another one. Is he going to come back the same? Because he was looking very good. I mean, that's a devastating injury he suffered.
Yeah, I mean, he would have in the Palace team that is there now. He would have been a baller.
Mm.
And I think Palace would be doing really well if they had Eze. You never know; he might come back, but obviously it's one of them ones like Ruben, like Callum.
He was running that team. It wasn't Zaha. Well, he got his injury. He was running that team.
Yeah, Eze was fantastic.
No, it was his team, not Zaha's.
Father, there's a comment that you should probably want to look at and respond to. By Mo hashtag Timo Werner out.
Excuse me. I'm sorry to interrupt here. On behalf of my office, I would like to file a restraining order for Mo. Mo's hashtag number 2 Timo Werner out for frauduling my client every single day, every time we stream on WorldWideChels or every other channel. So Mo hashtag W2. I have the also restraining order ready, and if you are not done with that, I'm gonna see you at the court, and you will be sentenced to the jail for good. Good evening.
Damn. I mean, Father's back in his fucking loyal ways. I haven't seen that for a few months.
I'm
Good
gonna
question.
ask
What
a
do you guys?
question. Go on, Chavi.
What do you guys
Go
think of Chalobah and his role coming up in this Chelsea team?
I think, to be fair, I think it's similar, not as similar to Ruben, but on and off, depending on the games, the lower league games, cup games. Just let him grow around players like Aspi, Christensen, Rudiger, Silva, and just not put too much pressure on him. I find sometimes we put too much pressure on like some Mount, Tammy, etc. And obviously, like yesterday, realistically, he was one of the people that was at fault for the goal. Although apart from that, he had a really good game. So I think we've just got to be patient with Chalobah, and hopefully he can just slowly prove himself and maybe either work his way into the team, or if not, he just plays a good squad role, which is fine as well because he gets to play for his club.
Yeah, that's true.
Oh, big up Ladamus. I didn't realize he commented.
Big up everyone. Ruben FC, Andrew, Carty, Charlie, Fator.
Hello, Prime.
But Prime, what did you think of the game yesterday?
Yeah, Ruben was not. That's not overgas Ruben. Okay, he wasn't man of the match. He was playing up against Villa's B team. That's not gas.
Kick him out. Kick him out.
No, but like, again, no, but let's just be, if we rate him so highly as a talent, we should expect him to dominate Villa's B team. So let's not. He shouldn't start against City. I'd be surprised if he does.
This is not. I don't think any of us.
Yeah, I also don't agree when people are saying Barkley played better than Ruben. I think Barkley was good, but he wasn't.
The only person saying that is Sadiq.
Yeah. I
Sadiq's a fraud.
I like Barkley as a person.
And that tells you a lot.
What tells me a lot?
No, I'm saying they said Sadiq was the only one that said Barkley. He's here.
Yeah.
I mean, to be fair, Sadiq's only saying that because he's trying to get him on the channel. Let's be honest.
I like Barkley. I think he's. I think people over exaggerate when they say how bad this guy is. Like,
no, he's shit.
People are gonna like this, but like in reality, if Mount was not from our academy, would he be as would Chelsea fans rate him as high as what's his name, Barkley? No, because what I've seen from Barkley, like when he broke through and everything, and it's a shame that he got his injury and he came to Chelsea because that just stunted and ruined everything. But what I saw from him when he broke through at Everton, what I saw from him before he got injured, this guy was better than Barkley. He had all that hard work and pressing and stuff. Better than Barkley. He was better than Mount. He had all that hard work and pressing and stuff, that work ethic, and he also contributed in that final third. But again, I don't know. But Mount is going to go clear of him and be a great player and all of that. I'm just giving, I guess, my personal opinion. What else? Saul was okay. This guy has to get back up to the pace of things, which he will. Fair enough. He hadn't played much last season and all of that, so and it's also on loan as well, so it's not really necessarily a big deal. It brings competition, and if it means by the end of the season, Ruben, I guess, cements a place, and maybe that's a good thing for us, and it means we don't have to shell out money on Saul. What else? James, good game. Got an assist for Werner's goal, scored the winning penalty. Werner, another. People can say that's a typical Werner performance, but does a typical Werner performance end up with a goal?
I said it's a typical Werner performance with a goal bonus.
But Andrew, people complain that Werner doesn't score goals. Now we're going to say, well, it's the same performance, but he scored a goal.
No, I changed my expectations of him. I don't expect him to score anymore. So if he scores now, it's just a bonus for me.
Yeah, but like now it's two, back-to-back goal contributions, and again, it's against Villa's B team. We were expecting him to score anyway, right? So
I didn't even expect. I did.
You did.
I didn't know if I was even going to start. To be honest,
I did. It's Villa's B team. I expected him to score.
Oh no, score! I didn't even expect him to score. Actually, I've got to be honest with you, I didn't expect him to score.
Yeah, well, I did.
I have little faith in his finishing.
Yeah, I still have faith in him. And Daniel saying that I don't know football, stop mentioning Mount. Okay, Daniel, stop getting angry or triggered. It's just everyone has different opinions, bro.
Yeah.
If you don't like it, get off football commentary and get off social media because that's a you problem, not an us problem.
Guys in the comments, this is a channel where anyone can put whatever opinion they want, as long as it's not overly offensive. So Barber can be extremely biased. Timo, people can criticize Mount. People can criticize Kanamatsudoi. People can say Ross Barkley is the best player on the planet. I'm not naming names, but anyone can say anything. So don't. No.
He said I'm just a clown. Yeah, I know. Well, fair enough. I'm a clown. Stop watching. Then I guess I don't know.
Yeah, there's no need to call people clowns or anything. But football is a game of opinions. Everyone sees football in a different
Wait,
way.
what's the beef? Why did we come? I just came back. Sorry.
Daniel in the comment section is calling Ladavus a clown.
But I know.
Why?
When people
criticizing Mount.
Opinions are opinion. Well, no, I wasn't criticizing Mount. Actually, I was talking about Barkley. But yeah, I don't know. Look, opinions are opinions, and I know a lot of my opinions aren't. People don't agree with them and stuff like that, which it's fine. I don't care if we don't agree, but don't be ignorant. Don't be rude. That shows more about you as a person than it does about an opinion I give. But whatever. It's just how you live your life. But what else? Chilwell played. Yeah, Chilwell had a good performance first game, isn't it? He's played.
10 minutes against Zenit, I think, didn't he? First one he started, definitely. Yeah, 10 minutes against Zenit.
Yeah, it's no beef. I don't know if I just care about him personally. Oh, that's cool. You're commenting on me, which shows that you care, I guess. But it was cool. Yeah, Chilwell played well first full game. He won't play against City, which I won't expect. But I expect him to start playing more now after the City game, because we've got easier runs. I know, so but I'm really happy actually. Alonso was in this run of form, and I'm interested to see how long it lasts. I hope it doesn't collapse against City. So I'm interested to see how long it lasts. Ziyech was poor. Have you guys talked about Ziyech? Because that guy was poor.
Yeah, we talked about who we would replace for him.
Really? Okay. You know what's funny? And to be fair, I don't know if you guys said this, but people on Twitter and socials and stuff and from other channels said, during the Super Cup or after, during our preseason and everything, people were saying Ziyech is going to be brilliant. This is his, he's going to ball out this season and stuff like that. It's going to be brilliant. He played in our in the Super Cup, and he only played half an hour or whatever. Then he came off injured. He scored that goal. And I remember after that game, people were doing player ratings and saying, he was our best player and stuff like that. And I was saying he was great, but he only played 30 minutes. You can't factor in and say that he was our best player, because you don't know if he would have tailed off, because everyone else in our team tailed off after the first 35, 40 minutes, So, but people were like, when he comes back from injury, he'll be firing and stuff. Let's get behind Ziyech. He's going to be brilliant. He comes back now. He's only played, 2 games? And now people want to get on his back again. So I'm just like, where do we lie? Are we going to flip-flop with this guy? Because I know where I stand. I didn't want him in the first place. I wanted him sold in the summer, but he's here, and I'm going to back him to do well, because I want all my players to do well.
Yeah, I don't think we were talking, we're talking about if he continues this bad form and he's not producing a game in and game out, that then we're talking about replacing. Of course I want him to do well, but he has to prove it,
Yeah, I know that is true. That's fair. But it's like who that aren't experienced. I was listening to what people were saying, Thorgan and Hazard, no, because he's nowhere near better than what we have right now. I don't even
that's what I mean. We were struggling.
Yeah,
there's not a lot of choice out there.
What's his name? Serge Gnabry. This guy's an inside forward who only scores goals, and even with that, he struggles. He come to the Prem and struggle, And people will say, he's another Werner. Actually, he's not. I take his all-round game. Maybe he's not even as good as Werner, I think. Sane, I rate, but we don't necessarily play with wingers. And he's best at when he's allowed to hug the touchline and beat you 1v1. I don't think he'd be allowed to play that way at Chelsea, at least with Tuchel. But I don't know, maybe Tuchel will adapt. Coleman, no. I like Chiesa, but this guy's also young. He's going to come to the Prem and have an adaptation period, and people are going to get on his case, Because when Chiesa plays bad, a lot of the stuff that he does, which is the Maverick sort of stuff, doing something crazy, and it pans out. If he's in a bad run of form and it doesn't pan out, Chelsea fans will get frustrated, because that's kind of what Ziyech is. I said last season, Ziyech is he's in the same mold as in the same mold as Bruno, where they're mavericks. They'll just keep trying things in game, and eventually one of those things will pay off. And you remember when it pays off. People remember that Bruno wonder goal he scored last season, right? People remember those sort of stuff. People remember Ziyech's wonder goal he scored against Kepa. But people don't remember how they performed in that game. I remember the 2 group games we played against Ajax when Ziyech played. He wasn't good in those 2 games at all, but because he scored 2 goals against Kepa, people raved about him and saying, he's brilliant and everything. There's a reason why he's been at Ajax. Well, not Ajax, but he's been in the Eredivisie for so long and people haven't bought him, because Arsenal have looked at him. United have looked at him. No one went in to buy him. Arsenal spent 72 million on Pepe in that time period and stuff, and they had a Wolby and stuff like that when they could have bought this guy if he was so highly rated. United had wingers for years like Depay, Di Maria, etc., etc., etc. When they could have bought this guy if he's so talented and so rated, So I don't know. I think Chelsea made a mistake with this guy, but I don't know. It is what it is. He's here, and I don't know if there's any better alternatives necessarily out there. Dybala's on too high a contract for us to bring him.
Yeah, I mean it's a hard one to decide. But yeah, I mean it's a weird. That's why I kind of wanted to suggest it, because for me, I struggle to find who I'd want to replace. Whenever someone says, "Oh, get rid of Timo, get rid of Pulisic, get rid of Ziyech," I'm like, "Yeah, it's fine, but who are you actually going to bring in that's going to do a job?" And like we said, we've all named different options. Some could work, some may not work, but yeah, it's a bit of a tough one. I mean, hour and a half gone. Has anyone got any topics they want to bring up at all? Talk about?
I'd probably bring up the what's it called? Criticism on Cho. Yeah. Because I thought there was a mix of opinions in terms of that.
Did he play well against Villa?
Yeah, Father, what did you think?
It's not for me. Yeah, he's also another player that can be frustrating to watch when it comes to final third. His decision making at times I'm sorry, just to repeat again. His decision making at times, can be questionable. Like, he doesn't know what to do when it comes to, all right, this is what, should I pass, should I shoot? Again, it's the same thing that happened with other players like Mason Mount. I'm not going to get into Mason Mount a lot this time around, because I feel like Mason Mount didn't play much yesterday as well. But I feel like with Cho, he's also another player that has been given enough chances to shine under Thomas Tuchel, and yet he's still lacking his confidence and self-belief that he can do it, though. And if he keeps, doing his if he's not improving in the next couple of months, I could genuinely see that this could be the end of Cho this time around. Even though last month, before the transfer window closed, there's been rumors that Cho going on loan. That's good, and there's a lot of debate amongst the fan base that he should stay in this club for as a longer term. But for me, in my opinion, if he doesn't perform or play with his expectation, I generally think that we can go back to this discussion again, and maybe we could, go get another player that can, that has the ability like Cho, but even taking a step a bit further than Cho.
Yeah, I mean, for me, looking at yesterday's game, I just see that Cho is generally he was okay, but when when it comes to his final ball, it just always seems like either the wrong decision, or as we've mentioned, he just seems to have that mental block. He's too scared to take the players on. Yet the very odd occasion where he'll do it, and then you think, okay, maybe he can do it from now on, but then he stops and doesn't do it for another 20, 30 minutes, and it's just a bit frustrating where you've seen it consistently. I know people talk about the wing-back argument, but him being at wing-back shouldn't be able to stop you taking people on. So I get your point. I just think he needs to go out on loan, get some consistent game time like Ruben did, and maybe that will get this whole mental block out of him and he can become a better player. But I think the way he is at the moment, I don't think he's going to succeed at Chelsea. Andrew, what do you think?
Why did we block his loan?
Well,
because we couldn't bring in a right wing back. Remember, start of the summer, we wanted Hakimi.
Yeah.
And then when we couldn't get him, we tried to get in Adama Traore. Because we wanted a right wing back.
I don't know how true that Adama Traore thing is, but
well, whether it's true or not, that's what we heard. You know.
Well, the thing is,
now it makes sense.
But even the Koundé thing, if we got Koundé in, I reckon Aspi would have played more wing back and show.
Yeah, I agree with you.
Yeah, probably.
I think we're coming to the realization now that, you know what, it's a serious consideration of just selling him and just going, you need, and just take the risk. Because at the moment, I'm not seeing what others keep telling me. He's got potential and everything. How many times? How long do I wait for potential? And I know people are going to say, well, he doesn't play in his natural position, doesn't play this. Victor Moses wasn't a right wing back.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he played well at right wing back. Yeah,
Victor Moses was an inside forward.
Yeah, but he played well at right wing back.
Yeah, even Pedro. Pedro played well. He didn't play right wing back much, but whenever he did.
It's like how long do you he's not playing on the left hand side. Why does he's right footed, why does he need to play on the left hand side? Why can't he do it on his naturally right foot on the right hand side? Why can't he do that? Why does he need to go back on the left? Because you're always because he's got no left foot, and you're always having to cut back onto your right.
Exactly.
And then it stops the flow of an attack, and then it's like and you're not talented, you're not a Mo Salah, you're not talented enough to play on the right with a left foot and go inwards. You haven't got that yet. And we might just have to go, do you know what? We're going to have to go, do you know what? We have to take the risk and just say, you need to have a career away at Stamford Bridge. He's 20, he's going to be 21 soon. I mean, we've had bigger players that have left and gone on to do better. Kevin De Bruyne and Salah come to mind. It just wasn't their time. Sometimes, you know what it is? Sometimes the club you're at is not the way they're set up doesn't suit you. And I don't think we suit Cho. I really don't.
But Andrew, you know what's funny? It's like he's now, not our most, but he's not our highest earner, but he's earning a lot. He's up there amongst our highest earners.
That's always the issue.
This guy's the Chelsea fans are, he's our best creator, or he's one of our best forwards, and
he's not.
He's better than Mount, who's our player of the year, or he's better than Werner, who had 27 goal contributions, or he's better than Pulisic, whose stats comparatively are better than Mount's, or he's better than he's just as good as Havertz, who's supposed to be this generational Ballon d'Or winner. He's better than Ziyech, who's an experienced player that turns up in our big games. If he's better than a lot of our attackers that we have, then we should expect a lot more from him. So I don't want to hear that he's out of position, because Mount's out of position, and he's playing. Werner had to play left wing. He plays out of position. Havertz had to play right wing. He was out of position. So I'm not hearing excuses.
The argument you get now from people who are seriously back Tro, and I want Tro to do well because it helps my club. But now you're getting, it was put in, I think Cos put it in the chat earlier. Oh, but he played well against Everton. He played well against Palace. Okay, now let's look at the games he didn't play well in, because I bet that's a longer list than the games he played well in. Yeah? Do you know what I mean? And that was at right, and those two at right wing back as well. So, it's like, well, when does it stop? You keep saying to me, 2 or 3 games or something like that, that's fine. And people have a go at Pulisic, and I understand that from an injury point of view. But at least with Pulisic, I know he can get to that level because I've seen him play that level. Even before lockdown, when he scored that hat against Burnley, scored a few goals, started playing when he got injured, then came back after lockdown, played well throughout the lockdown period, got injured in the cup final. We've not really seen that Pulisic since. Do you know what I mean? It's like, but I know. At least I've got a little bit of a sample there. With Cho, people are going to say to me, yeah, great in Sarri season. Yeah, great in the Europa League. I'll give you that. Then started playing a bit more. I'll give you that. But what? And I know they're going to say, oh, but he's recovering from injury. Okay. Well, maybe he needs to. Maybe then, if he's recovering from injury, maybe being at Chelsea is also too much when you're recovering from a big injury and you're a young player. Do you know what I mean? Why didn't you just go on loan? Why don't you just work out with Chelsea? Chelsea need to actually. This is Chelsea's fault for giving him the contract in the first place. Also, Chelsea's fault for not saying to whoever wants him on loan, we'll pay his wages, because no one's going to pay his wages on loan. No one's going to pay his wages because he earns too much, and that's Chelsea's fault.
But like, I don't know. There's also this thing of, well, not every young player has to immediately come in and play every single game. You know, the way Foden's been handled by Pep is brilliant. You know, Saka's playing every game. This guy's gonna eventually burn out, or he's looking like
Saka. He's been crap. He's had one assist.
Yeah, like whether people like what Jose did at United or not, at least what Rashford, he dropped him back a bit and allowed him to develop.
Yeah.
You know, because people are complaining that Ollie's playing him every game and he burnt him out or whatever, or he's getting him injured. I mean, Jose didn't do that. You know, the way I've seen young players in England, English players especially, they break through fast. You know, like Michael Owen, like Rooney, whatever, and then they burn out before they even hit 30, or by the time they're 30.
Yeah.
They don't get to prolong their careers.
Prime, I'll just finish it like this, and someone put it in the chat. We're now coming up to the unofficial. We're now coming up to the 2-year anniversary since he returned from his injury. Yeah. So how long do you give him? And I just think I'm sick of talking about potential at him. I know he's young and everything like that, but I just need some experienced players back in this squad as well. I'm just, you know, I'm done with the experiments.
Like if we're done, if like people are saying, oh, he's one of our own, came from our academy. I don't care about our academy. I make some money, which is brilliant, but realistically, in my lifetime, how many from our academy can I say were actually, you know, brilliant? I'm not including John Terry, by the way. As of right now, probably Christensen.
One.
Maybe Reece James. But as of right now, Christensen, and that's barely.
All right. Yes. Yeah. I think we're going to end it anyway. So.
Yeah, I mean, but I'll let you guys go on for a little bit. But yeah, I think Callum will eventually go at the end of the season. But that's how it is. I mean, guys, everyone that's in, 53 people watching, make sure you smash the like button. Try and get us to 100 likes. First of all, Father, thank you for coming on.
Appreciate it. Sorry about that. Appreciate it, people. Make sure tune in tomorrow for the special preview for the Chelsea City game. El Clasico this season as well. Part 1 El Clasico. So, battle of money.
Thank you, Father. Andrew, thank you for coming on.
No problem. All good. I love this channel. Please subscribe. Let's get this upwards and onwards, man. Man City, here we come. Cashapp derby.
Indeed. And Javi, thank you for coming on. Thank you for a little bit of Ruben.
Yeah, big up.
Cool.
Big up. And Ladivus, thank you for coming on as well.
How much time does it kick him out?
No, what has Ruben done for us as well?
No,
like,
we're finished.
Oh my God, we're not getting this. We're not getting on.
Barkley won us a European trophy.
No, Prime, we're finished.
Ruben won us a trophy as well. Europa League. Okay, thank you.
Charlie, thank you for coming on.
Welcome. Pleasure.
We're done.
We wouldn't have got to the final without him.
Oh my God, stop it, guys.
Like, subscribe.
Sorry, I'm messing
like,
with you.
subscribe.
Download the OneFootball app, and we'll see you tomorrow. Up.
Good performance, man. Don't ever leave Chelsea. Never give up. Loftus-Cheek, always.
Ruben out.
Oh. And he's still not ended the stream.